Welcome to Rise India 2021 by Worldline. I am Sahil from the products team of Worldline India. I'm going to speak about the Omni-Channel Onboarding platform and how Worldline has moved about its journey of building this platform. So firstly, what merchants are actually looking for. So looking at the in-store payment market in India, it's slowly shifting from a traditional POS and a QR acceptance. The merchants have also started demanding the payment gateway acceptance. This means that the merchant now needs to be onboarded on our different platforms. The merchant needs to be onboarded on our POS terminal platform. The merchant needs to be onboarded on our QR systems, on our payment gateway systems, and so also our soft POS systems, the phone acceptance channels. So omni-channel basically means the merchant is looking for all kinds of channel acceptance, but he needs a single onboarding journey to all of these to have all of these enabled for it. Secondly, the merchant actually starts his journey by looking over the internet, or he might call up his bank agent. He might call up at the call center of the bank. He might reach a branch of the bank, and he wants to start his onboarding journey from there on. So we've seen in most of the cases, the merchant actually starts online. When the merchant starts online, or when the merchant starts by calling a call center, he wants to continue that journey online. He wants to himself to complete that journey of onboarding and wants to get the payment channel activated for himself. Now, this helps him to complete the journey quickly, and this helps him to actually fill up his own details without the necessity of being assisted by somebody and actually having to wait for that person to come. So self-enabled journey is something that merchants were looking for quick activations, and which also brings about my third point, where the merchant wants instant activation, speed, and convenience. At the end of the journey, the merchant wants one of the payment acceptance channel, be it QR or be it a soft POS or a payment gateway acceptance. In some form or the other, the merchant wants to start accepting the payments instantly. So he does not want to wait for somebody to come and install the POS machine and then start accepting cards, but he wants to start in some form or the other. This way, the merchants needs to be classified and categorized based on what kind of payment acceptance he wants, and up to what limit our risk teams can involve that merchant. He might start his journey online, but he might want to do some round of negotiations with the bank for him to set up his MSF rates. So his journey needs to seamlessly move from an online channel to an assisted onboarding platform of the bank. So this seamless movement from one channel to the other channel needs to happen. This needs to be seamless, and the merchants needs to experience the whole journey of onboarding with the bank as if he was completing the journey from where he left online. So looking at these needs, the Worldline has created an omni-channel onboarding platform, which is basically powered by 4 technologies. First, the most talked about technologies in today's world is the AI. Okay, so let's look at how AI powers this entire onboarding platform. The AI, initially, when the merchant starts filling up his own application, the AI actually classifies the merchant, and first they define the persona of the merchant and then classifies it, whether this merchant can be processed or whether the risk evaluation of this merchant needs to happen. There needs to be a balance of how the merchant is enabled. Some merchants which come under the high risk categories, or which might come under the high risk location, for them only a certain amount of settlements or only a certain amount of transactions can be enabled. Some merchants can go through the straight through processing, and the instant activation can seamlessly work for them. Some merchants needs to do a video KYC. They need to have physical visits, and so the AI engine basically helps us to cluster these merchants and classify them as per that. Now, because the whole journey is online, we have the advantage of having the MSF recommendation. What generally happens here is, when we are doing an offline journey today with the merchants, we do not have the MSF. We have a very standard MSF definition. Here, because we are clustering the merchant into its own personas, we know what is the right MSF to be recommended to. We know what the right products to be pitched to the merchant. And hence the entire online journey helps us to power, hence the entire online journey is actually powered by the AI, which recommends this MSF uh, and the products. Next is the APIs. The entire backend system, there are multiple backend systems in the payments ecosystem, right? All of them have led through a journey of APIfications. It is through this API platform that we could have created an omni-channel onboarding platform. At the backend, the APIs have triggered multiple systems where these merchant details are configured. So this our own CRM system is now completely API, and it supports multiple onboardings of various channels. The next is the digitization of the entire journey. Uh, any offline process that needed to be digitized is now digitized. For example, the offline signs, the offline contracts, right? So the offline contracts have been converted into an e-contract management. The offline signatures are now managed online. The data capture of all the uh, offline uh, offline documents are now captured through an OCR, right? These OCRs help us to extract the right information from the documents and uh, keep it as part of the system storage. The last and the most important is the mobile technology. Now, in this, the ISOs, whether it is the ISOs or the banks or any other acquirer, all of them can now enable the onboarding starting from the merchant's phone. For this, the merchant really does not need to download an app. The mobile technology is powered by the PWA apps of today's world, where the merchant just logs into one of the links, and it looks like an app, but it really works on the browser of the merchant. So even before he's starting his journey online, he's actually using just the browser of the phone. All this leads to a completely cost-effective, fast, and a highly scalable omnichannel journey. Now let's look at the benefits that we have for the acquirers in this. First, it gives the merchant a complete zero-touch onboarding experience. And as I said, the AI risk engine actually powers the entire journey. Next, because the instant activation, the tax are no longer an issue. The merchant initially has one of the payments mode activated instantly for them. Okay. Also the instant activation, we've seen that is leading to a low dropout rate between the installation of the physical terminal and the onboarding process. The e-contract management helps in absolutely paperless storage of all the merchant information. It provides the entire digital journey, actually provides a unified view to our sales team. It gives the entire sales funnel as to how many leads were generated, how many prospects, that means how many merchants are actually inquired about the system, but then finally led to a dropout between the onboarding journey. When they drop out, who are those merchants? Why did they drop out? Is all being analyzed at the back end because of the digital journey. It also enables the RMs to bring about more cross-sell and upsell, because now the RMs know the entire persona of the merchant. It gives them also the app provides the recommendation to the RM of what needs to be sold or cross-sold to the merchant. Last but not the least, the merchants are offered a lot of promotions and through this platform. But now, because we know how to make this merchant profitable, we can offer them a lower MSF rate in these initial days, and then make this merchant a profitable and a more reliable merchant to stay with. Thank you.